Hey y'all, welcome back to Right at the Wire. Well, we do have a Derby prep at the fairgrounds on Saturday, and we also have an Oaks prep, the Fairgrounds Oaks, a Grade 2, 11th race on Saturday's card, running a mile and a 16th for the 3-year-old fillies. And this field is, we've got a lot of familiar faces from the Rachel Alexandra. We've got Good Cheer and Gowell's Delight. We've got the maiden, impressive maiden winner, I believe, on that day. Ahava, who's a half to Vava, so the names rhyme. Her Laugh, who was effective early and had a tough time in the Rachel Alexandra, or in the Honeybee, I believe it was. I'm not sure which. Blessed the Broken and Quick Kick, also one making her second start of the year after a pretty good 2-year-old campaign. So, looking here, to be honest, this is one of those races where, you know, you can look up and down trying to find how to beat Good Cheer, and I just really couldn't find a way to do it. I'm just going to say that right off the bat. She just looks awful good. I thought if there was a time to beat her, it might have been last time the Rachel Alexandra, and I thought Gowell's Delight put up a good fight, tried real hard, but in the end, I think this horse is just too good. Really, when you look for a ribbon, something to hang your hat on for this race, I think it's speed, and she's just faster than the rest of them. Really, that's what it comes down to. You look at the other horses in this race, and it's just really hard to find anybody who's put up the kind of numbers that could potentially beat Good Cheer. And really, I just have to say it that way. We're going to go through them. But Ahava, to me, is very interesting. Being a half to Vava, Vava was more of a one-turn horse, and we know this, but she could get two. And I think she could have got a mile and a 16th under the right circumstances. And I wouldn't put it past Ahava to do that for Cherie DeVoe, Jose Ortiz, and the Irons. She was pretty darn impressive. Her work tab looks great. The pedigree isn't necessarily, loaded with stamina. But let's remember, too, a lot of times horses going around 2 turns for the first time can freak. And so this one may be classy enough. Certainly with an 89 Brisnet figure in debut, if she can take a move forward, she'd be right there with Good Cheer. It's going to have company on the front end, particularly from, I think, Secret Faith, who has never run around 2 turns either. But she's kind of intriguing, and, if you're looking for a horse that you try to find to pull the upset, wire-to-wire job for Ahava might be it. But I think it's a really tall order. Gowell's Delight scratched out of the Virginia Oaks to run here, and I threw her out in the Virginia Oaks. The Rachel Alexandra, I thought she ran a valiant effort. She was not going to beat Good Cheer, but she tried real hard, ran a pretty good race, but you look at the numbers from it, and this is a horse that you just don't see that progression to get real excited about. The speed figure, I think it was an 81, and it wasn't even her best. I just don't want to invest in a horse where I'm just not confident that she can take a step forward. And so I'm going to let Gowell's Delight go, particularly since if she tries to run the front end, you've got Ahava and Secret Faith, who are both going to be pretty keen early. I don't think the race sets up well for us, so I'm going to scratch Gowell's Delight. Jenkins had no excuses in her last race. I just couldn't find one. I mean, she tried to make a little bit of a move, but really just doesn't appear to me to be good enough. Now, it is second off the layoff, so you can maybe give a little bit of an excuse, but just looking on the balance of her running lines at her career, I'm just not confident that she's ready to take that move forward to be competitive in this race. So I'm throwing her out. Now, Her Laugh to me is one that I think is pretty interesting. got a terrible break in the Honeybee, and yet was still able to rally and get up for second. And I thought that was pretty impressive, especially since you consider her race prior, she won on the front end. The interesting thing to me is the fractions were the same. Pretty much from running from the front end and running from behind, they were exactly the same. So what it tells you is, in her race prior, she had it awful easy on the front end. But I think in the Honeybee, it showed me that this one, has some talent, and she's going to have to get a little faster to beat Good Cheer. But I think she looks like that she has the potential to move forward. So I can kind of draw a line through the last race, although it is the reason that I'm including her here, because I really liked what I saw. I think she showed a lot of grit and didn't just give up when she broke poorly. So let's give, we'll throw her laugh in the mix as probably the best chance for an upset, I would say. But again, I think Good Cheer, hard to beat. Gonna throw Girl Math in there as another one that, I did pick on top for the Virginia Oaks because she was coming off of synthetic. And the Virginia Oaks was kind of a hard race to really find a horse to get real excited about. Fondling had all the earmarkings of a horse that was going to win, but it was just kind of one of those races that it was so pretty well balanced, and it was just really hard. So I went with Girl Math because she was coming from synthetic, and I didn't think she ran badly at Turfway last time. I think this one has to get a lot better. I mean, has to get faster if she's going to beat Good Cheer. But if we get the pace to be fairly aggressive on the front end, I think Girl Math benefits from that, and will probably just follow Good Cheer, and is going to have to move forward significantly. But I think is one that there's something left in the tank, and so we'll throw Girl Math in there as well. Good Cheer, as I mentioned, is the pick to win. 5 for 5, kind of hard to go against, and it's really hard to find a horse who might rival her. If I had to pick one thing, I would think that maybe her detriment maybe needs to get engaged a little sooner, but I think she has the speed to make up for the fact if she's a little late to get going. That's really the only thing. And it was her debut as a 3-year-old, and it's logical that they might be a little sluggish. And I thought she was a little sluggish in that race, but obviously she should be much more true to the task in this race, I think. And so I just can't find a horse to beat her here, and I really like Good Cheer. Quick Kick is coming first off the layoff, debuting at 3. I didn't think ran badly. And I think can certainly build off of that for Tom Amoss. He certainly, Tom Amoss knows fairgrounds for sure. And she's definitely one of the ones. The problem is, she may get a pace scenario that's to her benefit with Hava and Secret Faith. Coming from behind against a horse like Good Cheer, I think she underneath is probably the extent of my interest for Quick Kick. But I think it's one you certainly have to include in the mix. Incidentally, I just talked about a couple others. Bless the Broken tried to make a move in the Rachel Alexander last time, and that's really what bothered me. The horse just flattened right out. And I had high hopes for this one. But when you see that, when they make a move like that and then they just kind of can't sustain it, then you start having to wonder a little bit about maybe they're outclassed a bit. And when you look back at that career high Brisnet number, it was in the mud and really regressed off of it pretty rapidly or pretty significantly. So to me, Bless the Broken, kind of hard to trust here. Maybe he'll run a little better than last time, but I wasn't encouraged by it. So I'm going to let Bless the Broken go. Secret Faith, this is obviously a really nice Louisiana bred without a doubt. But she hasn't run around 2 turns and is doing most of her damage amongst Louisiana breds. Now, I think she's better than state breds. I grant you that. I think she's demonstrated that without a doubt. She just hasn't run around 2 turns yet. And this is pretty deep waters to try that out. So I'll have to see one from Secret Faith. Great name, by the way. Just really like the name, but that's not enough for me to include in the mix, and I don't think it is for you guys either. So I'm going to let Secret Faith go. So we look at our wagering strategy. Good Cheer is the one that I think will win this race. However, is going to be extremely short, and I don't want to put a win bet. So if I did have to put a win bet down, I'd do it on Her Laugh. I think is a logical second choice here. So we'll just we'll do that as sort of a value play, if you will. And then exactas, we're not going to get too cute. We're just going to go 7-5, 7-9, one of those two, and we'll Dutch it, leverage it accordingly. And then trifecta, 7 with 5-9, 5-9, and we'll hit that one fairly heavy. And then we'll do 7 with 5-9 with 1, 3, 5, and 6. We'll throw in Bless the Broken there as a horse who could potentially suck up at a price. But that would be, again, that's the extent of my interest with Bless the Broken. So, in sum, Good Cheer, I think, is the one to beat here. And I think it's going to be a tall order for any of them to knock this filly down. Really like her for the Oaks. And she's proven to be at 3 just as good as she was at 2, if not better. So, Good Cheer in the Fairground Oaks. Hope our analysis helps you with your own wagering strategy. Wish you the best of luck as always. And certainly, if you do like content like this, please like and subscribe. And we keep growing and really appreciate those newcomers, people coming on. And I love our stalwarts too. I always want to let you guys know you are on my mind. I have not forgotten about you as we grow, and because you're the ones who helped get this started. So thanks so much for your support. We will have more postings this week from the fairgrounds. I'm going to try to, I believe we've got the Bourbonnette Oaks for Turfway as well, so we'll try to get a posting there. And then we'll do our late pick 5 for fairgrounds, as well as full card, best bets, value plays, and all that stuff. And should be a lot of good opportunities, usually are for the fairgrounds. So that's it from here. I'll talk to you soon. And until then, be well.